name is Tim E. Period D. If you're his friend, then you already know that. I still have 30 seconds of this song left. Did I mention Tim E. Period D? Super funny and a big name too. He eats potato salad, doesn't drink something from a moo. He's been on the CW, WWE, and Fox. A 15-year TV host, hates people who wear ankle socks. He's cute, a star, and sometimes a gent. Tim E. Period D, talking about the parliament. Whoa, whoa, yabba dabba doo. A mech, honey ho, honey ho.
And welcome everybody! It's the luck of the Irish, and it's the luck of the fact that you are watching my show right now. Can you believe it? I can believe it. My name is Tim, letter E, period D. And if you're my friend, wait a second, Tim, letter E, period D. And if you're my friend, then you already know that. And if you remember on our last episode, it was our Valentine episode, and basically I got messages from my ex that she might be interested in being my co-host slash love interest. Well, I don't know if she really mentioned the love interest part. I'm going on record and assuming that. But we also revealed that I had a child, and that child is here this evening. A matter of fact, for those that missed the last episode, dun 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 dun. Oh, sorry, a little tipsy there. There we go. We'll put it right on back into the home. Well, speaking of home, some people say I might need to go to one. I don't know what that means really, but that's what they say. Anyway, that's what the word on the street is. The word on the street. Which is funny because a lot of times when I go and see the word on the street, it just says stop. So I don't really know. But I know that we are still continuing to look for a show pet. And at this time, we have leaned a little bit closer to perhaps an iguana. So I don't know whether that's going to take off or not, because I don't really know if iguanas fly. But be that as it may or April, we still continue to look. And hopefully one day we'll get to the bottom or the top of this. We have a jam-packed show that will be absolutely pointless for you. But the most exciting thing is anyone that would like to join us. Well, it's funny because if you're watching us, then you would probably be able to chat anyway. But I was going to say that if we can get some people in the chat room, then we're going to do some catchphrase, and you can play along as well, too. We've got an interview with Daniel Evans coming up, and we've got some other exciting information about our Disney contest that we've been doing. We finally revealed here tonight the Disney contest, and we're going to tell you the answer to the contest. It's basically the past 3 episodes, we've given you clues as to what the show, in our show, what the contest is going to be and where I am. It's where in the Disney world is Tim E. period D. So hopefully you can figure it out. And then we'll let you know that information coming up. Also got an interview, some information about a show that they do about Disneyland, a show called Jocularity. And also, before I forget, want to at least mention once, of course you would know that my phone would go off for a second. For MCW, this is for all my friends and folks here in the Atlanta area, Monstrosity Championship Wrestling. They have a show, MCW show, coming up. It's going to be March 14th at Club Famous, inside Famous Pub. We've actually been there. I did play-by-play announcing at least one time for another show that was at Famous Pub, I think. So anyway, MCW, March 14th, Club Famous, 9 p.m. Also, it's going to be their CD release party for the Casket Creatures. And it will be the 3rd anniversary of Wrestling with Pop Culture. So we thank Jonathan Williams for all that information, and you can check out Club Famous, 2947 North Druid Hills in Atlanta, G.A. And Professor Morday is there and a lot of other great people as well. Matter of fact, Jonathan Williams is hosting a show as we speak, and he's going to be trying to send some of his friends over after his show over to this show. So I kind of like that, a little swapping back and forth for show purposes anyway. I'm not so much of a big swapper. Well, maybe I am, but that's for another show and a little more higher rated. Back to this point, I will say it's interesting how a difference of one show makes, because the last show, little by little, I've watched the progression of me, it's a little thirsty, getting sick a little bit, and who knows, it kind of comes and goes, but I know I've lost count of how many ER visits I've been and doctor visits, and they still don't know anything. Like I keep telling everybody, it's like only can a doctor and a meteorologist be the same 2 people that basically can be wrong and still keep their job. So I've been trying to devise some type of program where basically you buy one doctor visit, get one free. Or I'm also trying to work on, if you need a couple tests, like say x-rays and CAT scans, they do like a package bundle deal together. You buy one CAT scan and you get an x-ray free and maybe a rectal exam if you're good, and if you do the bonus feature. So that's all I'm pushing for right now because, man, this medical stuff is expensive. Now, whether you have insurance, don't have insurance, you'd have to agree that chasing after something that the doctors don't really know for sure is a little expensive. So, like I said, I need to become a doctor because that way I could be wrong and be like, oh, man, I think you have lupus. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It was actually a hangnail. But either way, you got to come back because what are you going to do? Well, this person certainly is a great inspiration. Whether you're sick or not sick, it'll certainly cheer you up a little bit. His name is Daniel Evans. We've interviewed him. Well, I shouldn't say we've interviewed him. We've had a video from him with one of his songs on my show in the past. But this is our first chance to interview him. And we're also going to follow up that interview with another song that he's done. So if you're kind of feeling down, a little blue, a little purple, whatever color you may be feeling, this guy can certainly help you out and kind of cheer you up a little bit. So let's kind of find out a little bit more about Daniel and we'll go into his song. So we'll be right back.
Hey, well, basically what inspired me to write Christian rap is I accepted the Lord at an early age. And, I wanted the people to know the Lord, and I like rap, so I decided to start doing Christian rap and, writing that, because I also want to use my testimony to help people. Guess you could say some of my inspirations was T-Bone and DC Talk. DC Talk was like the pioneers of Christian rap. They had their album, called New Thing. They had an original album called DC Talk at first, but I first heard the New Thing album, and it was pretty good, and I liked them. And, that inspired me to see if they could do what I can do with the T-Bone. He was, I discovered him a little bit later in the later 90s, that he kind of is, the West Coast rapper, but he talk about bucking down demons and things like that. So, I like this style. It seemed like something new, but also anointed. My future plans is to put out maybe 3 or 4 more CDs, whether that be EPs or LPs. I'm still trying to decide. Possibly do some commercials, tour, do more concerts, locally, but then tour regionally, nationally, and probably even internationally. What the proudest accomplishment about my music probably has been somebody saying that they know it's really of God, that had to be God doing that because it really reached them and touched them. And, placing on number 1 on a couple radio stations and the top 10 on others, it did not hurt either, but, probably the proudest accomplishment I would have to say would be, people saying that they know that this is really of God. You can get up with me on Facebook or Twitter. My album is available. It's called Nothing Gonna Stop Me. It's on iTunes and Amazon. And you can see some of my videos on YouTube if you just type in Daniel Evans. And that's just about it. Thank you, and thank you for your time.
Y'all ready to praise? All right, let's do this. I just had to write this because when I'm writing, it gets so exciting. Even though some say your flow ain't tight, man. Say what you will, but I'm just trying to shine the light, man. Let my light be shining in Jesus Christ, cause that's the one I abide in. The Holy One, God's only Son. And he go with all my heart, cause he number 1. I love him so, because he first loved me. He saved me many times in his life, but more than that, he gave me life eternally. And nothing's gonna stop me from praising G-O-D. Nothing's gonna stop me from praising your name. And nothing's gonna stop me from saying you changed lives. You're the way, the truth, and the life. And you're all that Jesus Christ. Now I've been to the hospital and been on different types of medicine, been seen by psychologists, etc. But Jesus Christ is the better one, because he knows all about me. With us, it's dope. We tight like the joints in my body, and I just had to tell somebody. I've been through depression and I've been through stress, but now I'm so very blessed. Can I get a witness? I'm coming through religious all the time. The can judge me the way they want to. But Lord, I know you'll see me through, cause you know the truth. Nothing's gonna stop me from praising your name. And nothing's gonna stop me from saying you changed. Lies, the way, the truth, and the life. Just your all that Jesus Christ. Yeah, no matter what I go through, no matter what you go through, we can't let nothing stop us from praising him.
And that was Daniel Evans, and great job, Daniel Evans. It was good to be able to hear from his interview, and actually get to hear him perform as well. Who's also in the chat room, so we want to say a special hello to Daniel in the chat room, and love to have a few other people maybe join and play. The person that is waving emphatically is my intern, Tristan, as he puts my cup up here. How are you doing, Tristan? Who are you talking to on the phone? Are you going to do an interview on the phone?
I'm talking to my boss.
Oh, you really? I didn't know you had a boss. Well, I'm kind of your boss since you're my intern, but do you have another boss away from the show?
No.
No? So you're just randomly talking to someone. Are you sure you got the right person?
Yeah.
It's not the pizza delivery person, is it?
Oh, no.
Oh, do you want to tell? Ooh, I just heard them. Try it again. So maybe you're talking to the operator. Do you think maybe they could patch you through to Disney?
Probably.
Well, we got a Disney contest coming up that we're going to mention in a moment. And we're going to finally reveal the answer because we've done 3 clues. And also tying in with Disney because, we talk a little bit about wrestling here on the show. We talk about Disney on the show, talk about my gallbladder, which hopefully is fine. Wow, they're really busy. Well, I'll hold off on that for a second so that you can tell me. Man, you love pushing buttons, don't you? I bet you're quite the treat at college. So... All right, well, that's good. So why don't you tell me, since we do talk about Disney, why don't you tell me about Infinity? You have an Infinity for the Wii. So why don't you tell me, and this is kind of like, for those that don't know, it's like a whole collection of different Disney characters for Infinity that you can use for the Wii and kind of almost like makes you feel like you're a part of Disney somehow. So tell me what you think about Infinity. You can't whisper, no one's going to be able to hear you. I just said, what do you think about Infinity? Do you like the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it about Infinity that you like?
I like the toy box.
And what do you do in the toy box?
So you build stuff, and like on the toy vault you can get toys and spin.
Wow, that's cool. Why don't you look right over here? That's your adoring public, your fans. Well, that's pretty cool. Who was your favorite? I didn't say look that way. I said look that way. Who are your favorite characters from Infinity that you can that you have? Yes, you have a question, or you have an answer?
Answer.
Okay, what's your answer?
Jack Skeleton, Mickey, and Woody.
Wow, that's cool. And what out of all those 3, like, what has the coolest powers that you can do?
Mickey.
Yeah, and why is that?
Well, because if he can make bushes go around.
Wow, oh, like kind of for Fantasia?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I know there's still a lot more characters out there that you don't have. What would be one of your next characters that you would like to get?
Anna and Elsa.
From Frozen?
Yep.
Who just won, they won 2 awards at the Oscars yesterday, matter of fact. They won for Best Song and Best Animation, I think. So pretty nice. So yeah, so that's a good goal to kind of achieve. So you have a Wii. The problem is that they've stopped making games for the Wii. So I guess, but if you don't have it, it's still new to you. Kind of like how I feel with a car. No matter how old the car is, if it's new to me, if I get it, then it's new to me, whether it's brand new or not new, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, one last thing. So what are you studying currently in college? I guess broadcasting?
Wrestling.
Wrestling. Great choice. Well, terrific. Well, hey, Tristan, we're going to send you off right now so we can go get you to do some paperwork and filing and go get my coffee, all right? All right, well, why don't you hop down? And while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and go over, since we are touching on Disney, and that is we had an interview recently, and basically I thought something was going to happen. All of a sudden I heard this, like I was going to dive under the table. Thought it was a bomb or something. I was a little paranoid. Hopefully we'll get the catchphrase if this thing ever turns off. Oh, it used to turn off. Oh, it's because I was hitting the wrong button. So this is from ATF Podcast, and they're called AboveTheFirehouse.com. So again, it's AboveTheFirehouse.com. And basically you can go on there, get information, purchase the Fanbase DVD, Blu-rays, with a professional tusk, but they do a podcast. You'll get all the information there at abovethefirehouse.com. They focus more on Disneyland, and we touch more on Disney World. But some of the questions I asked, what made you decide to start a show talking about Disneyland? And the person wrote back, I found out about podcasts while on a website back in late 06 for the broadcast correct. That was a tribute to an old attraction I used to ride as a kid. That's when I discovered Window to the Magic. I listened to it and loved it, and I was taken back on how great it sounded. I could not stop listening. Then I listened to Paul talk to another guy on his podcast from his computer, and the other guy was on his computer on the East Coast, which is kind of interesting. He told Paul I made DVD of the Disneyland 50th ceremony. I sent him a copy, and he liked how he made it. So that's kind of how this guy got started with podcasts. I wrote, what do you think makes your show different from other Disney podcasts, blogs, video shows? He wrote, mine stands out because I was one of the very first few podcasts that have had Disney legends on it way before some have had them on now. I had Wal Boag, I guess that's how you pronounce it, B-O-A-G, Bob Gurr, and on the same show. No one has been able to get Wally on their show, but I was, thanks to his kids, Heather and Lawrence, being king and enjoyed my podcast. I like to do voices, and I have a few segments that I do, like stupid Disney joke, Disney fun facts, and more. And he's been doing the show since June of 2006. And let's see, I asked him, do you think Disney in other countries overexposes the Disney brand? And he says that basically, as long as you have certain rides for different parks, it should be fine. So we might try and actually post this maybe on our Facebook page. So you can just type in TIM space E period and then the letter D. And we'll try and see if we can have all the rest of this information from the interview. But again, it's abovethefirehouse.com. Thanks so much for letting us be able to do the interview with you for that. So that was quite fun. Now the Disney gift card. Basically, the past three clues were, and we actually didn't have anyone win the gift card because I guess I made the question way too hard. So I kind of think that's interesting. So next time we'll try and do it again and make it a little bit simpler. But one of the clues was I like high adventure. I think it was something blue. And then it was don't put off today what you can do tomorrow. So we'll narrow it down. It was in Tomorrowland because you're not putting off today what you can do tomorrow. Tomorrowland. And then high adventure. Some people picked Space Mountain, which is in Tomorrowland. However, something high. So they were right on that thinking. But blue. So when you put all those three together, it is the People Mover, Tomorrowland Transit Authority. No one got it right, and most people would never pick that as their favorite ride, but that is actually my favorite ride. It's simple, but you also get a view of the whole park, well, whole of Tomorrowland at least, and so that's why I like the ride. So that's where Tim E. D was all this time, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do some more Disney World promotions to give away Disney gift card, because I still have one. And now we have our quick interview that we're going to do that we have calling in on the phone. This is actually the Queen from Prussia. Not to be confused with Russia. Hello? Yes. Well, yes, it is a treat as well, too. I would like to ask you one quick question, and that is, do you eat wheat thins? Oh, no. No. All right, well, thank you. So obviously you can go and Google the Queen of Prussia. That would be fantastic, and you will see what she looks like. And we just finished doing an interview with her. Very swell person, I must add. Have I seen if they switched over? They might have actually switched over. So in that case, we want to do a quick little shout out again to MCW Wrestling and Jonathan Williams, and we'll see. And then we're going to go into another little interview that we have done. But again, as a reminder to everyone from Wrestling with Pop Culture and everybody associated with Jonathan Williams here tonight, their show just ended at 8, so maybe they flipped over. MCW show that will be coming up March 14th at Club Famous, Inside Famous Pub at 9 p.m. It will be a CD release party for the Casket Creatures, and it will be the 3rd anniversary of Wrestling with Pop Culture. Club Famous is at 2947 North Druid Hills Road, NE, Atlanta, GA. And we certainly wish them luck with everything they got going on. Sounds like a lot of fun. Now, we want to go ahead and go into an interview. We had a chance to talk with one of the hosts from a TV show called Jocularity. It's more like a podcast, webcast kind of thing. But they're going to explain a little bit about what they do, and I think they could do that better than what I could do. So we will go ahead and go into that now, and we'll be right back.
Well, Tim, I had the opportunity to work with multi-Emmy Award winner sportscaster Rick Aaron with the Jocularity Show. He came up with the idea to start a sports podcast and mix in some comedy with it, and he wanted me to co-create it and co-host it with him. And I said, yeah, absolutely, let's do this thing. I love talking sports. It's a hobby of mine. I've co-created and co-hosted podcasts in the past, and I just love talking sports, and I love that people like to listen to me talk sports. And so I definitely wanted to get in on this creation, which is the Jocularity Show. Tim, as far as promoting the Jocularity Show goes, we rely heavily on social media, on Twitter, on Google Plus, and Facebook. We need all the shares, plus ones, and retweets that we can get right now. We love going on podcasts. Rick and I have been a guest on a local podcast here in Salt Lake City called the Salt City Throwdown recently, just to talk about the Jocularity Show. You can check that out at saltcitythrowdown.com. That was a fantastic experience. And Tim, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having us come on your show to talk about and promote the Jocularity Show. As far as advice goes for anybody out there that may want to start a sports podcast or a podcast in general, don't just buy a computer, a microphone, and a mixer and start talking. Do a little bit of research. Find out what the big stories are and what people want to hear. Make sure you don't just talk about what is interesting to you, but what is interesting to everybody.
Hey, and we're back. Thank you so much for that interview. It was great. And, I love the progression of the show that we've done over the past couple months. A lot of times, typically in life or a show, you see an increase. We actually have strived very hard to watch a decrease in viewers, and we have so far accomplished that. We actually have less people in our chat room now than we did when we started. So I will say this, though, very interesting enough. We did a little test. Did you have any luck with downloading it, or is it not because of the 3G? No luck? All right. Well, I want to say a special shout out to Jamie. She tried emphatically to try and get to watch this show. And so basically we had her download this app. So you go on harmonybooking.com. You go on the website, and then there it has some, click this for the app or whatever. Well, application. To me, if it's an app, then basically you should be getting cheese fries at TGI Friday or something, I think. So, or a patootie skins, I think. I will say this. Basically, yeah, I told her to go on the website. She did that. She downloaded it, and then she went there and she said, well, all I see is your promo. So she sent the picture, and I don't know how well this will show up, but this is what she saw there, and that's the extent of it. She said she couldn't figure it out. Now, I'm not the most technically inclined person as well either. Now, I would think, though, that if all it is she's supposed to just be pushing a button and it worked, then that's that. But I don't know. Either way as it is, I know it's apparently you must get a degree in triathlon to be able to watch this show. For those that even are still left to watch the show. So I bless you. I know I think it's a little bit easier on computers, but I do notice the last show, we didn't have as many viewers, and it was because of, I guess, a song that was on the end of it. So basically, it shows me that more people watch via phone. And if we're having all these troubles on the phone, then no wonder. I guess I'm just talking to the closet here this evening. And a few people that are watching. I know once it gets on the replay, it'll be easier on YouTube. And don't forget, DED has been watching as well, too. Want to remind you real quick before we play catchphrase. Don't forget, I am still the crown jewel of Cable Cup. And yay to me, I'm the winner. So I will be going around on the tour continuing. Bless you. For my one viewer that probably heard that. So we will do geography, which is exciting. Man, it's almost getting to be near the time of the show, so we may only have time to do 2 of these. All right, so anyone that's playing, Daniel, if you're still watching, he probably fell asleep as well, too, after his segment. Then you can guess along. So here we go, geography. It's at the zoo, and it's something when you get plastic surgery. It's called something. Blank plastic, I think. It's at the zoo. It has a tusk.
Rhino.
Yes, now put that together. What's the actual...
Rhinoplasty.
All right, well, that'll work. Not really, but it was rhinoceros, but that'll work. All right, where Elvis goes, where you go to get married, where they have a lot of gambling. It's a city.
Las Vegas.
All right, if you think of it, you feel free to shout out as well, too. It's a country at Epcot, not Japan, and it's something that you eat good on a plate.
Right.
And that you store it. What'd you say? Not Japan, but...
China.
China, very good. The intern gets it. And where do you store the China?
Closet.
You store China in the closet? You can tell we don't have... Yes, very... Wow, Al pulling it out at the very last minute. Oh, real quick, I wanted to just say thanks to Al and to Comics on Parole and to everybody involved, Harmony Booking, that all helps make this show possible. So we really appreciate them. Yes, so I think we have time for 1 or 2 more. I think we got all the information that I did. Again, one more like shameless plug for MCW Wrestling as we've plugged throughout the show here. Food and drink. Wow, they used to do this at Sonic. They would deliver your food wearing this.
Roller skates.
Yes, very good. That one's kind of hard. All right, this is like a monkey, and it's at the zoo, and it, oh my gosh, Jane and Tarzan had this.
A gorilla.
No,
Baboon.
really?
Flippies.
I think it's another name for a monkey. Man, I need my zoology degree.
Flippies.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, man, I think he's doing very well. If I get this and I'm very itchy, and it's not oak, but it's
Poison.
what kind though?
Ivy.
Very good. Yes, indeed. Wow, Shetland pony. How in the world? How do you get someone to pronounce Shetland pony? I don't like that one either. All right, it's a fruit or a vegetable. I don't remember. That doesn't help much. Wow, right off the bat. Yes, very nice. Wow, Al pulling it out twice there at the last minute. All right, one more. I think we have time for. Daniel, are you still there? Haven't seen any updates in a while. In swimming, you jump and you go straight down and you, dive to the bottom. Exactly. Ooh, this is the type of cheese that you would get at Subway that you would use. It's not. No, that's true. Yeah, sprinkle. I think he only has an advantage because he's been with Subway with me. But I'm billing that to your college, by the way. It's in New Mexico, and the person that delivers your presents on Christmas.
Say Nick.
Well, kinda. What's the first word? It's in New Mexico, and very good. You got it, Al again. I'm telling you, it's almost like a battle between Al and Tristan.
Where's my check?
I know, right? Well, we'll just deduct what I owe you.
Okay.
Well, hey everybody, my name is Tim letter E period D, and if you're my friend, you already know that. And Tristan, would you like to join me for a little club sandwich as the alarm goes off? All right, you play, and I'm gonna dance. Good night, everybody. It's been a real treat. What kind of treat? I don't know. Butterfingers, perhaps. But we're going to sing and dance ourselves out. And then we got our new little outro that we're going to play for you. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. There can't say. There you go. All right. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, this is Johnny Van Zant from Leonard Skinner. You're listening to American Hearts Radio.